Vanguard Live. My name is Damola Ogunshaki, and I'm starting with Vanguard on the paper review. Vanguard is leading with PDP crisis. Wike attacks Makinde Fubara. Says Makinde lied that I'm holding PDP for Tinubu. Fubara has no political structure going to APC. Adds governor's defection belated. PDP feels over claims of non-existence of party in Rivers. You can see that on page 5. And here there are photo stories here. A sad one, auto crash, Anthony Joshua rushed to Duchess Hospital, 2 aides dead. Overspeeding, wrong overtaking, responsible for crash. That's coming from FRSC. You can see that story on page 7 of Vanguard newspaper. On page 9, 2027, I am better prepared to lead Nigeria. That's coming from Peter Obi. Anti-terror war. After United States strikes, NAF pounds Lakurawa bases in Zamfara. And the top banner on page 25, Femi Otedola sells a majority stake in Garagu Power in $750 million deal. Electricity, nationwide blackout as grid collapses. You can see that on page 25. And lastly, on Vanguard newspaper, assault, Pedro Obaseki narrates ordeal as amnesty. PDP orders demand justice. That story can be seen on page 6 of Vanguard newspaper. The Punch major headline this morning says United States airstrikes. Defense headquarters steps up watch on fleeing terrorists. ISR monitoring ISWAP members' movement. Retired generals differ over United States troops deployment. Banditry. 8 killed in Kebbi attack, 16 abducted in Zamfara. Restoration begins as grid collapse caught power nationwide. Ogunman kills a stepbrother over 4,000 naira debt. You can see these stories on pages 3, 33, and 4 and 5. Parakot refinery supplies 3,150 diesel trucks despite shutdown. You can see that on page 34. And lastly, on the Punch newspaper, top right corner, we have NNPC writes of 4 trillion naira subsidy. Other federal government debt. You can see that on page 33. And that takes us to the Nation newspaper. The Nation is leading with Makinde destabilizing PDP for selfish reasons, says Wike. Minister accuses Fubara of reneging on agreement. You can see that on page 3. Tax laws won't push up airfares. Oyedele debunks Oyema's claims. You can see that on page 2. And on the page 2 still, Kano Governor Yusuf's planned defection to APC unsettles NNPP. Top banner on page 7. NNPCL seeks funding to complete AKK gas pipeline. Lastly, on the Nation newspaper, Ekiti 2026, INEC omits PDP from governorship candidate list. You can see that story on page 28 of the Nation newspaper. Away from there, we move to The Guardian. The Guardian major headline says, legal challenge threatens new tax regime ahead of January 1, 2026 takeoff. You can see that on news page 6. Despite gains, CSOs raise sovereignty confers over Tinubu's silence on United States strike. That's what we have on the front pages of the dailies. Join us after the break for a brief analysis of some of the stories. Welcome back. If you are just joining me, this is Today the News on Vanguard Live. My name is Damola Ogunshaki. Federal Capital Territory Minister Mr. Nyesom Wike has attacked Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State for saying that he, Wike, promised to hold the People's Democratic Party (PDP) for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Wike, who denied the allegation, also took on his successor, Governor Fubara of Rivers State, noting that his defection from the PDP to the APC came late without any established political structure to support his new party. At a media interaction in Ibadan last Tuesday, Makinde said his relationship with Wike collapsed after the former Rivers State governor made what he described as an unsolidated declaration during a meeting with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And according to FCT Minister Nyesom Wike, who spoke yesterday during the year-end media chat in Port Harcourt, he noted that the meeting had nothing to do with the PDP but was meant to show support for Tinubu's leadership and assure him of continued support. According to him, his support for Tinubu had never been hidden and did not require any special meeting to affirm. He added that as a minister, he has a responsibility to ensure that members of the G5 group benefited from the Tinubu administration in one way or the other. Wike also alleged that Makinde was displeased because Tinubu did not approve his nominee for a ministerial appointment, and he further claimed that he had not received the level of support Makinde allegedly got from Tinubu, including the reported 50 billion naira grant for victims of the Bodija explosion in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. And that's all on their story. And of course, you can get a copy of the Vanguard newspaper to read more of that. And now let's touch on the very sad auto crash that happened in Lagos Ibadan Expressway yesterday, and it involved the former world heavyweight boxing champion Anthony Joshua as he narrowly escaped death in a ghastly road accident that occurred around the Sinomo Maku axis near Shagamu along the Lagos Ibadan Expressway in Ogun State yesterday. However, two foreign nationals whose identities were withheld lost their lives in the crash. The incident occurred while the 36-year-old boxer and his friends, who had traveled with him from abroad, were returning to Shagamu from Lagos shortly after Joshua posted on his Instagram page where he was seen playing table tennis. Multiple sources told Vanguard that the former two-time unified WBO, IBF, and WBA heavyweight champion and his driver are undergoing treatment at Duchess International Hospital in Ikeja yesterday. It was also gathered that a pioneering sports rehabilitation specialist and longtime friend of former two-time heavyweight world champion Shino was one of the foreign nationals involved in the crash. Gwami, who was a transformative figure in high-performance rehabilitation, was renowned for bridging the gap between clinical recovery and peak athletic output. Now, a childhood friend of the boxer, Gwami served as Joshua's full-time sports and exercise rehabilitation coach for more than a decade, playing a critical role in the boxer's career, and he was key presence in Joshua's corner during several landmark bouts, most notably the historic 2017 victory over Vladimir Klitschko at Wembley Stadium, a defining moment in modern heavyweight boxing. And let's end this on a lighter note with Mr. and Mrs. this morning. The first person speaking is Mrs. Mrs. says, guests at our Christmas party gave it a thumbs up. I need some money to buy wine and food items for the New Year edition. And Mr. replied, no New Year party or guest. I'm going to enjoy myself with full bottles of wine I kept from the Xmas fashion. Mr. is saying the Christmas money is enough. New Year, I just want to be alone. The guests, they've enjoyed themselves. No more guests. New Year. And I understand, Mr. I mean, one day you can celebrate, while the other day you can also rest. And Mr. is even saying that he kept wine from the Christmas edition. Of course, Mrs. is still going to have a way, whether you like it or Mr. So this is where we have to draw the curtain today. My name is Damnola Ogunshaki. Do well to like and follow us on all our social media platforms showing on your screen. You can also visit our website www.bangandngr.com. Have a lovely Tuesday.